Question number one. The angle whose measure is 50 degree complements an angle space measure here. We know complements about two angles. It's meaning the sum of two angles equal 90 degree. Then 50 plus what? Equal 90 degree. 50 plus 40. Then the angle will be 40 degrees. The measure of this angle will be 40 degree. Okay, because complements angle, it's meaning the two angles here such that angle A and angle B, sum of them equal 90 degree. And the straight line here, if we have straight line and this ray perpendicular to straight line at this point, and the sum of two angles here 90 plus 90 equal 180, and if we have the ray bisect the right angle triangle, then the measure of each one equal 45. But in this example he give us the first angle was 50 here, 50 degree, this angle 50 degrees, then this angle complements it, it will be 40 degree. Understood? Then the result will be 40 degree. Write 40 in the space. Okay, but if he cancels this word complements and write supplementary angles, the sum of them will be 180. Okay, but complements meaning sum of two angles equal 90 degree. Number two, if triangle ABC congruent triangle XYZ, then measure of Z equal measure of what? Okay, we have question number two. This triangle ABC congruent triangle XYZ, then measure of angle Z equal measure of angle C. It's equality. Okay, congruent. Question number three. If a straight line intersects two parallel straight lines, then each two corresponding angles are equal in measure. Look at question number three. Again, we have straight line intersecting two parallel straight line. We have two straight lines here, and straight line intersects two parallel straight lines at two points here. This point and this point. He asked about two corresponding angles are equal in measure. Corresponding angles such that measure of angle B and measure of angle B will be equality. Then we must write about question number three. Write equal in measure. Equal measure. Okay. Again, if straight line intersects two parallel straight line, then each two corresponding angles are equal in measure. Okay. Number four, the sum of measure of the accumulative angles at a point is 360 degree. What about cumulative angles? It's meaning a lot of straight lines such that L1, L2, L3 straight lines intersect at one point. The sum of all angles here, it will be 360 degree. We called it accumulative angles. Okay, then the sum of measure of accumulative angles at a point is 360 degrees. The sum of them it will be 360 degree. Question number five. If two adjacent angles are complementary, then their outer sides are perpendicular. Okay, again, question number five. If two adjacent angles are complementary angle, it's meaning sum of them it will be 90 degrees, such that angle A and angle B, sum of them equal 90 degrees. We called it complementary angles. Okay. If two adjacent angles are complementary, then their outer side, we called it outer side, it will be perpendicular. We just write here perpendicular. Perpendicular, it's meaning straight line L perpendicular to straight line M intersect at one point, and the measure of them between them here, this angle will be 90 degree. Okay. Again, if two adjacent angles are complementary, then their outer sides are perpendicular. Next, question number two, choose the correct answer. Question number two. Number one. The angle whose measure is 179 degree, we called it what? obtuse angle, okay, because the measure here 179 degree less than 180 and greater than 90 degree, then we called it what? We called it obtuse angle. Choose letter C. Question number 1, choose letter C. We called it an obtuse angle, okay. Number 2, the perpendicular bisector of a line segment is what? Number 2, perpendicular bisector of line segment. If we have line segment here and it's line segment here and we have perpendicular bisector, it will be perpendicular to the base, then we called it axis of symmetry. Then choose letter A, axis of symmetry. We called it axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry, it's meaning straight line perpendicular to straight line in the middle, okay, and divided the length of bisect here to equal parts. Question number 3, if line segment EP is congruent line segment CD, then the difference between them, EP subtract by CD, it will be 0, because this line segment EP congruent line segment CD, it's meaning EP equals CD in the length, then ED subtract by CD equals 0, okay, choose letter C. Question number 4, if measure of angle A equal 80 degrees, then measure of reflex about angle A, it will be 360 subtract by 80 degree. If we have this angle measure of 80 degrees, then this angle we call the reflex angle of it will be 360 subtract by 80, it will be 200 subtract again, it will be 200 what? 280. Okay, question number 4, choose letter D. Number 5, if measure of angle x supplements angle y and angle x congruent x and y, then measure of x equals space degree. It's meaning supplements, it's meaning sum of them equal what? Equal 180. Then measure of angle x plus measure of angle y equal what? 180. Okay, we call this supplements angle, and they are complement of the sum of them equal 180, and the measure of angle x equal congruent measure of angle y, angle x congruent angle y. It's meaning measure of angle x equal measure of angle y, and each one of them equal 90 degree. Then measure of angle x equal 90 degree, because 90 plus 90 equal 180 degree. Okay, then you must choose letter B about question number 5. Okay, next question number 6. The two straight lines parallel to the third straight line are spaced. Two straight lines parallel to a third. We have two straight lines parallel to the third, then the two straight lines here will be parallel again. Okay, choose letter B. If we have two straight lines parallel to the third straight line, then the two straight lines will be parallel. Then the two straight lines parallel to the third are parallel. Choose letter B. Okay, choose letter B. Next question. Question number 3. In the opposite figure, measure of angle AMB equals 30 degree and measure of angle BMC 110 degree, and he won't find the measure of angle CMD. Okay, look at with me about this drawing here. We have a lot of angles intersect at one point M, and he won't find measure of angle CMD. Okay, we can find this angle by using eat all values of the measure to will be 360 degree, because we call it cumulative angles. Sum of all angles and cumulative and 1 point, it will be 360 degree. Then measure of angle CMD, it will be 360 subtract by sum of all angles here, 110, 30 and 90. The result will be 360 subtract by sum of them. Here it will be 0 plus 0 plus 0, 9 plus 3, 12, 12 plus 1, 13, 3 and carry up 1, 1 plus 1 equal 2. And the result will be 130 degree. Next question. Question letter B. We have two triangles here congruent. Prove that two triangle here congruent. Okay. To prove that, by using what? Two sides and included angles between them. We have this triangle and another triangle here. DAM, and here it was B, AM, and here C. This angle, this side equal side and this side equal side here. Prove that two triangles congruent. Okay, we have in two triangles, first triangle AMB, AMB, and next triangle, right, AMB, right, DMC. In two triangles, we have in two triangles here, this angle will be equal this angle vertically opposite angles. We have MB equal MC and MA equal MD, and measure of angle AMB equal measure of angle, we write here AMB DMC. Okay, measure of angle DMC. We have vertical opposite angles, here, because we have two straight line intersect at one point. Then measure of angle AMD equal DMC. Then it's the first condition about congruent, two triangle congruent by using two sides and included angle. Then the first triangle AMB congruent, second triangle DMC, they are congruent. Okay, question number 4, letter A. Using geometric tools to draw XY of length 8 cm, use the ruler to draw XY 8 cm, then draw DE perpendicular to the base. It's line symmetry, it's perpendicular and right here in the middle. Okay, we can using compass to draw the arc, put in here and draw the arc up and down and Y up and down, and then draw, okay, straight line button through 2 points here. Then it will be perpendicular to XY. Okay, next question, letter P. In the opposite figure, find measure of angle BAD and measure of angle C. BAD, you want to find this angle, and measure of angle C. Okay, we have here AD, the ray AD parallel to BC and AB cut off them. AB cut of them. Then measure of angle DAB equal measure of angle 52 alternate angles. Letter B here, such that AD, right, AD parallel to CP, then measure of angle BAD will be equal measure of angle P equal 50 degree. We call that alternate angle. Okay, since we have AD here bisect angle E, then measure of angle DAE equal measure of angle DAB. Okay, since ED, the ray ED bisects angle BAE, then measure of angle EAD equal 50 degree. Then we can find measure of angle C, because angle C and angle A equal in measure. We call it corresponding angles. Then measure of angle C equal measure of angle A, because AD parallel to CP and the ray CE cut of them. Then measure of angle C here will be equal measure of angle EAD. It will be equal 52 degree. We called it corresponding angles. Okay, corresponding angles. Next question. We have this figure. We want to find measure of angle ABD and CBE. Okay, we have here a lot of angles cumulative at the one point P. You want to find measure of angle CPE, and you want to find APE. Okay, we can find the measure of this angle by write 100 subtract 135 to find measure of angle, this angle here, because B belong to a straight line AC, then the measure of angle ABCD plus measure of angle BD DBC here, this angle will be 180. Okay, question here we can write such that measure of angle APD will be 180 subtract by 135. It will be 45 degrees, such that why? Because B is belong to straight line AC. Then measure of angle ABD plus measure of angle DBC equal 180. Then measure of angle ABD equal 45 degree. So the measure of this angle will be 45 degree. Okay. Now we have the bisects here, such that the ray BA bisects angle DBE. Then so we have here the bisects equality. This BA ray bisects angle into equal angles equal in measure. Then if this bisects this angle, then measure of angle DBE, you want to find measure of angle DBE equal twice 45. It will be 90 degree. Then we can find measure of angle CBE, measure of angle CBE, by using 360 subtract sum of all angles here, 135, plus measure of angle DBE, I write it 90 degree. It will be what? We can find 360. Understood this example again? Okay, we have a straight line here. I want to find the measure of this angle. It was 90 degree, and here 135. Then the measure of this angle will be 360 subtract sum of all angles. Three angles here, 135 plus 90, 45 plus 45. Right, 9 plus 5 plus 0 to 5, 9 plus 3, 12, 2 and carry up 1, 1 plus 1 equal 2, then the difference between them, 10 minus 5, it will be 5, 5 minus 2 equal 3, and 3 minus 2, 1, the result will be 135 degree. Next question here, you want to find the length of AY. Who can tell me the result here? Here, length AY. AY, okay, I will focus on it. Okay, I'm going to solve this example. We have a straight line ED parallel to XY parallel to CB parallel to FA. Then the set length here EE will be equal EY equal EC because we have here transverse. AP is a transverse and AC transverse. So I will write the steps here. We can divide 9 divided by 3 parts. 9 divided by 3 equal 3. Then the length of YE from Y to E, 3 plus 3 equals 6. Okay, since straight line EF parallel to DE parallel to straight line XY parallel to straight line PC, and AP and AC we called it transverse, okay, or two transversal, okay, transversals to them, okay, we called it what? Transverse to them. Understood? We have here this straight line parallel and parallel, and we call this side and this side transverse, all of them. Understood? Here transverse AC and EB, we call it transverse, transversal them. Okay, then we have give us this example. ED was equal dx will be equal xp. Then we can find the length of EE and EY. It will be equal YC equal YC equal, can divided 9 by 3, it will be 3 centimeter. Then we can find the length of EY. Look at here, EY equal EE plus EY, it will be 3 plus 3, it will be 6 centimeter. Last question is the exam, okay, understood?